Hello guys. I'm going to stream online and hello. Okay. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Luan and I come from Vietnam. I'm only 20 years old and I'm here to practice speaking English with you guys. This video is personal and it's my everyday learning new words. So I'm gonna practice learning new words and speaking more fluently. I hope so. So I'm going to start now. You can listen to my voice if you want. This is only for personal purpose. So here we go. Let's start with many words I have been learning so far. Today I'm going to tell you something in my room. There are many things in my room, and today I am going to tell you I'm going to tell you the things are in my room. The curtain. There are many kinds of curtain, not only so there are four vocabulary forwards. There are forwards. Sorry. There are forwards, curtain, drape, shade, and blind. Sorry if my accent is not very well. Okay. So, am I really streaming? I hope so. Okay, it's been a while. Okay, so let's start with identifying curtain and drape. So what's the difference and the similarity between curtain and shape? Curtain is something you use to, cover your door, or even your window from the light. But a curtain, so drape is something the same. They are sold in pairs. I'm going to talk about the similarity first. Curtain and drape are the things which have similar use to cover the light, protect, to make your room darker, and to use to decorate your house, decorate your window or your door. So curtain and drape are sold in pairs. They are both sold in pairs, which means you can use your hands to just pull the two parts of the curtain. So the curtain and the drape, they both have two parts. Okay, so they are sold in pairs, but and they are also made of fabric. Fabric is a kind of material that is kind of soft and made of silk or something like that. A curtain, not like a drape, is curtains. We do not use we use curtains. Curtains are not like drapes. Curtains are sheer. Sheer means thin. And a drape, drapes are thicker. Thicker means that they can cover they can prevent light from coming into your house much more effectively than the curtains do. Okay, so the similarity, sold in pairs and made of fabric. The difference is the curtain is sheer and the drapes are thick. So move on to shade and blind. Okay, so shade and blind are different from curtains and drapes on the point that shades and blinds are sewed individually. Individually means they can be pulled. You can hold on to something at the end of the shades or blinds and then you pull it down. It has only one panel, whereas curtains and drapes, they have two panels, two parts, but shades and blinds, they only have one part, one panel only. Okay, so shade and blind, they are different from curtains and shapes on that point. Now we're gonna distinguish between shades and blinds. So shades are made of fabric too, just like curtains and drapes, but blinds are made of wood or aluminum, so it is much harder. And the shade, it means shades. It's used to have shades, but it cannot prevent light totally, whereas blind can prevent light from coming into your house perfectly. You know, when you pull it, you can adjust it so that light can come through the blind, or it can come, or it cannot come into your house. So you can adjust it through the blinds. So the main similarity between shades and blinds is that they are sold individually, and the most difference is that shades are made of fabric and blinds are made of wood or aluminum. Sorry, I just used the American accent. I prefer British accent, not really preferring, but I'm studying British accent, so I'll practice speaking American accent later, but for now, just British accent. Okay, so that's about curtain drapes, shades and blinds. We are moving on to mounting hardware. What is mounting hardware? Mounting hardware is something that is attached to something else. To be easily understood, you can understand that mounting is like attaching to something, and hardware is some kind of tools. It's a kind of tools to to hang something on, and usually be used to decorate for decoration in your house, or it has some uses like household uses. So mounting hardware, I'm talking about mounting hardware is something for the curtains, drapes, shades and blinds to hang on. So we have the curtains cannot just float into the air. It has to hang on something, and that thing is called mounting hardware, and the things around it too. They all combined a system called mounting hardware. So there are about four parts. Four. Oh no, not four. It's about 5 things, or even 6 things. So there are basically 6 tools in order to they combine with each other to all of them become a system called mounting hardware. Let's start with the thing that the curtain is hung on. Is the rod. You know the rod to when you go fishing? Yes, it's the same pronunciation and the same word is rod, but the meaning is different. It is made from plastic or metal, and it's like a long, a long bar that, for the curtain to be hung on. So there's another word for the rod. No, not another word, but a thing just like the rod is called the pole. So rod and pole, they are 2 kinds of things that the curtain can be hung on. So the main differences is that the rod is adjustable and the pole is not adjustable, which means you can get the rod off the bracket. I'm going to talk about the bracket later. No, I'm going to talk about it now. The bracket is the shape is like a hook for the rod or the pole to be put on. So the bracket is attached to the wall and it cannot be moved. So the rod or pole is put there right on to the bracket. So the rod and pole, they are both made of plastic metal, but the rod is adjustable, which means that it can be moved from the bracket, and the pole is not adjustable, which means it is attached to the bracket and cannot be moved. So the pole can also be made of wood or bamboo, and those are the different things between the rod and the pole. About the material, the pole, a wider range of materials, whereas the rod is adjustable, which means one can be moved and one cannot. I've also covered bracket. It's like a hook. So we have another word which is called finial. Finial. This thing keep finials. They usually go in pairs. They keep the curtain from being off the rod. I'm sorry. So the finials keep the curtain from being off the rod. You know that when the curtain is attached to the rod, it can be moved. It can be easily moved out of the rod because there must be something to hold the curtain back, and that thing at the end of the rod, the 2 ends of the rod, we have 2 finials, and they are attached to the rod or the pole, preventing the curtain to fall off. The next definition is the curtain rings. The rings, you know that the rings is something in circle shape, right? So we put the rod into these rings. The rings are attached directly to the curtain, and we put the rod into these rings, and then the curtain is hung on. This can be easily be understood when you look at your own curtain at your own house. Okay, the next word are cafe clips, or we can call it rings with clips. So what are cafe clips? Cafe clips is like the curtain rings. Is actually rings with clips. So it is the curtain rings, but there are small clips right under the ring, and we call it rings with clips, or cafe clips for short. And the clips that is attached right below the rings are usually decorated. So we move to the last definition, is the curtain holdbacks, or we can call them curtain tiebacks. No, we cannot call them because they are different words. So what are they? Curtain holdbacks is like the shape, it has the shape like a hook. So basically it is made of metal and not flexible, which means it's like a hard pieces of metal, and it shapes a hook. So when we want to, the curtain, when the morning comes, you have to, put the curtain to the sides, right? So that the lights can go in. So there has to be something that hold the curtain back so that it will not move to the center, and that thing is called holdback. So we have two holdbacks to hold two parts of the curtain. So another word is tiebacks. Tiebacks are just like holdbacks, but it is made of fabric, not metal, and it is flexible, which I was using. So it is attached to the wall, and you can like tie the curtain back, tie it up, and it doesn't take much. You don't have to spend much space for the tie back, because it's like a piece of cloth, while the whole back is made of metal, and there has to be some spaces. It does not make room for anything else. So it is not flexible, but it is quickly to be used, because you just have to put the part of the curtain into the holdbacks, but the tie back you have to tie it, so it takes more time, but you have more space. Anything has its advantages and disadvantages. So I have come up with like some advices for you guys to use these things. When to use curtain, drape, shade, blind, and when to use rod pole or rings, clips, blah blah blah. So when we want our room to be super dark, we use blind. When we will want them to be dark but has two parts, we use drape. When we want lights to come in a little bit, we use curtain. And when we want to, like the way of pulling things down without too dark, we use the shade. Now the mounting hardware, we use the rod with the curtain rings, only curtain rings. Why is that? Because the rod is adjustable and the curtain rings, they are unable to be removed from the curtain, which means, so let me make it easier for you guys to understand. You have to, sometimes you have to put the curtain system, we call it the curtain system, out of the places where it usually are, because we have to, we have to do the tidy up things, so we have to put the curtain out. So when we use the rod and we use the rings with clips, it's not necessary because the rod is adjustable on its own. So if we use rings with clips, or called cafe clips, it doesn't need to, because the clips, the use of the clips is to hold the curtain, and we can put off, we can remove the curtain just by adjusting the clips. So we have 2 times adjusting the clips, and the rod is not necessary. We only need to use the rod, which is adjustable on its own, and the curtain rings, which is not adjustable. But we only need to adjust this curtain system, so at least one is okay, at least one. So we can use rod with anything, but pole is not adjustable, so it can only be used with rings with clips, cafe clips. Because if we do not use cafe clips, we cannot put the curtain system out of the place, because the pole is always there and it cannot be moved. If we use curtain rings without clips, so the curtain cannot be moved, the curtain system, it cannot be moved, and we cannot tie anything up. So when we use pole, we have to use with clips. Understand? And the holdbacks and the tiebacks, it depends on you. If your house has lots of places, you can use holdbacks, and if you have money. But if you don't have money and your house is like very small, you should use tiebacks. It is made of fabric and easily to be placed anywhere without, making any room. I was saying the word wrong. Sorry. I'm still studying. So that's the words for today. I hope you enjoy my accent. I don't enjoy it, but I'm on my studying road. I hope you guys had a great time with me. So next time I am going to tell you about some of the culture that my country has. See you guys next time. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. Oh, please. In this first video, I don't have to be subscribed. I don't have to be liked. Yeah, it's terrible. I don't even know if I would keep this video. but I hope I will. Hope you guys like it. Goodbye. See you again.